part of the reason that we love it, because the Brits obviously come from this tiny little minute island. We think we're big, we've got big hearts, big souls and big ideas, but you know, it's nothing like the scale of a city like this, anything that I can imagine back home, not at all. I think there's an incredible kind of symbiotic relationship in terms of what's going on the east coast of America and what goes down in the whole of the UK. Now, and I mean, God, what are we talking like, maybe 40, 50 years of history we have, you know, but right now it's never been more exciting in New York, has it? I mean, there's so many crews operating out of here. There's the Trouble and Bass crew, there's Dub War, there's Francois K's Deep Space, and I mean, just a myriad of wonderful artists, people like Faulty DL and Badawi and Kochi and Jimmy Edgar and Machine Drum, and you know, the list goes on and on. I mean, it's just an amazing time to be operating out of the East Coast, definitely. Yeah, CLO tomorrow night for Francois. The whole of the rest of the community show up here, which is really, really exciting to see. And much like, I guess, the kind of family aspect of what's happening in LA right now, there is this amazing community of people who are incredibly supportive of one another, and you feel the momentum that creates, even an ocean away. It's really, really exciting. What do you think of the new hair? So Sonar Festival in 2010 for me is all about firsts. I guess the first artist to be booked at Sonar at all this year was Joy Orbison, because I insisted that we took a chance on him after he put together such a spectacular mix for my BBC Radio 1 show in September. And Roscoe, of course, he's playing for me too. He's the first ever artist, obviously spinning the UK funky sound that Sonar have taken into the festival, and they're really, really excited to be bringing that in for the first time. So that's wonderful too. And then of course, the mighty Flying Lotus, the first artist ever to return to my stage. I booked him in 2008 when he was still, you know, kind of a hot young contender at that point, I suppose you would call him. And now he's probably on the brink of some kind of incredible global tipping point with his new album Cosmogramma, which I'm sure you all agree is just an incredible piece of art. So he's returning triumphantly to headline for me in 2010. So I'm really, really excited about it. Pepperoni pizza, a slice off the street. This is how it goes down in New York City for me. You know, I'm a tourist. Obviously, if you look at the history of dubstep, it was just a transition from the 2001 era dark garage. If you look at the way that the term was originally coined to describe horsepower sound, I mean, that's how dubstep, the term, originally came about. It's all about where it's going moving forward. You know, it's all about, if these are the absolute fringes of sound right now, it's about where people are going to be jumping off from that point. That to me is what's exciting, what's really interesting, and what keeps this whole thing evolving endlessly and keeps clubs like Dub War fresh every single month, you know.
It's, in a way, it's like more open right now than it's ever been in terms of dubstep's impact, and that people originally kind of, that was the standard, like what DMZ did and what a small number of people in London did at that moment, that they are finally kind of have the freedom to take that and do it in a different way, rather than, you know, for a short time it was kind of like people trying to kind of recreate something similar to that. Now it really is people like someone who came from a house background in New York who hear that sound and try and sort of take the inspiration from that and move house forward, or in LA move hip hop forward, or, you know, whatever your local musical context is, there's all these people who are really going out there and really doing different tempos and different sounds and different genres all together that all kind of like have this, I think, this common thread that is an inspiration that I see is coming back to this moment that Mary Anne was really kind of on the cusp of right when it happened.
Dubstep now, I think, is very much a kind of loose umbrella term, and you're able to gather a huge number of artists with common interests, common goals, common aims, with great kind of family principles and amazing symbiotic relationships which are transatlantic, multi-continental in many cases. Different families and different camps of people like Hyperbuild, like Brainfeeder, like Double, like Deep Space, whoever it may be, all pulling together and creating this momentum globally. You know, I think that, say for example, what Dave does at Double is so incredibly important because he gives this phenomenal global platform that is, I mean, it's iconic, it's so valuable to any artist to go and play at Double. It's such an enormous validation of what it is that people are doing. And, you know, similarly, if you become involved with Hyperdub, if you become involved with Brainfeeder or Low End Theory, it elevates you above this enormous kind of ocean of sound that's out there right now, which is extremely difficult to navigate if you're just kind of on your own on the high seas of the internet. But I think there's this amazing sense of, you know, all of the families internationally creating this incredible momentum, and people are not really particularly interested in emulating a core sound. They realise that to really break free and to get the attention and the creative trajectory that they really want, what they need to be doing is creating something for themselves, you know. So,
I mean, as a label, like, you know, labeling it dubstep, even though it kind of, the meaning of it seems a bit flimsy at the moment, it's useful for, you know, for writers or for industry, but like at the end of the day, like the artists who are creating interesting sounds are like less concerned with that, you know, and if we just all want to sort of agree on that as what we're going to call this sort of loose thing, that's fine.
Yeah, I can't even think about a top three, but I can think maybe Lorne is absolutely incredible to look out for. Cavs Rave, you should definitely check. What about Joe, Alterettes, West Norwood Cassette Library, you really need to check that. So you need to check Matthew David's imprint, Leaving Recordings on the West Coast. Absolutely phenomenal, exquisite music coming out. That Index, of course, in New York City.
Non-Plus, everything on Non-Plus lined up for the next few months. It's crazy.
For sure. Numbers in Glasgow, Lucky Me in Glasgow. The new Blessings EP is to die for. Hey, this is Mary Anne Hobbs. You're live in New York City. I'm here with my boy Dave Q, and yeah, you're on URBhd.com.